अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि व कफ़ा वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला इबादिहिल्लज़ीना इस्तफ़ा खुसूसन अला अफ़ज़लिहिम व ख़ातमिन नबिय्यीन मुहम्मदिनिल अमीन व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमाईन। अम्मा बाद फ़क़द क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़ी कमा वरद फ़ी सूरति तौबा व सूरति सफ़ व सूरतिल फ़त्ह। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। हुवल्लज़ी अरसला रसूलहु बिल हुदा व दीनिल हक़्क़ि लियुज़हिरहु अलद्दीनि कुल्लिहि। फ़क़ाल अज़्ज़ व जल कमा वरद फ़ी सूरति शूरा शरअ लकुम मिनद्दीनि मा वस्सा बिही नूहन वल्लज़ी अवहयना इलैक वमा वस्सैना बिही इब्राहीम व मूसा व ईसा अन अक़ीमुद्दीन व ला ततफ़र्रक़ू फ़ीह। वक़ाल अज़्ज़ व जल कमा वरद फ़ी सूरतिल अनफ़ाल वक़ातिलूहुम हत्ता ला तकून फ़ितनतुन व यकूनद्दीनु कुल्लुहु लिल्लाह। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। वअनिल हारिसिल अशअरी रज़ियल्लाहु तआला अन्हु क़ाल क़ाल रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम आमुरुकुम बिख़म्सिन अल्लाहु अमरनी बिहिन बिल जमाअति वस्सम'i वत्ताअति वल हिजरति वल जिहाद फ़ी सबीलिल्लाह। रवाहुल इमाम अहमद वल इमाम तिर्मिज़ी रहिमहुमुल्लाह। वअन अनस रज़ियल्लाहु तआला अन्हु क़ाल क़ाल रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अल जिहाद माज़िन मुज़बासनी अल्लाहु इला अन युक़ातिल आखिरु हाज़िहिल उम्मति दज्जाल। रवाहुल इमाम अबू दाऊद रहिमहुल्लाह। रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बना अल्हिमना रुश्दना व अइज़ना मिन शुरूरि अनफुसिना। अल्लाहुम्मा अरिनल हक़्क़ हक़्क़न वर्ज़ुक़ना इत्तिबाअह व अरिनल बातिला बातिलन वर्ज़ुक़ना इज्तिनाबह। अल्लाहुम्मा वफ़्फ़िक़ना लिमा तुहिब्बु व तर्दा। अल्लाहुम्मा वफ़्फ़िक़ना अन नुजाहिद फ़ी सबीलिका बिअम्वालिना व अनफुसिना। अल्लाहुम्मा अर्ज़ुक़ना शहादतन फ़ी सबीलिक। आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। Dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the previous session, we discussed about jihad fi sabilillah. Let us review briefly the topics regarding this discussion, which we have already completed. First of all, the importance of jihad fi sabilillah. Ayat 10 and 11 of Surah As-Saff clearly give us that one cannot hope salvation in the hereafter without jihad fi sabilillah. Then ayat number 14 and 15 of Surah Al-Hujurat clearly give us that jihad fi sabilillah is an integral part of Iman itself. Then we discussed two great misconceptions about jihad. Number one, that jihad means war. While we know that in the Quran we have a definite and separate term for war for the cause of Allah, and that is qital fi sabilillah. Qital is khas, jihad is aam. Qital is definitely jihad, but every jihad is not qital. Jihad is a broad-based concept, while qital is a particular thing. But the biggest result, that has been that jihad disappeared from our concept of faraid. It became, when we thought that jihad is war, and war is not going on all the time. So it becomes only farz kifaya. That is the loss that we have sustained due to this misconception. Number two, we have been thinking that when a Muslim goes to war, he is making jihad fi sabilillah. He might be a fasiq and fajir and zalim. He might be a despotic king. He might be going to war only to increase his revenue, to increase his luxuries. Well, every war that a Muslim is fighting is not necessarily jihad fi sabilillah. This has given bad name to this most sacred term of our deen, that is jihad fi sabilillah. Then we discussed the literal meanings of the word jihad. It is derived from juhud. Juhud means to strive for something. But when juhud comes against juhud, there is a confrontation between two juhuds. It becomes jihad or mujahada. Just as if unilaterally a person kills the other, it is qatl. When there are two groups pitched against each other, each one intending to kill the other, it becomes qital or muqatala. So this is the relationship between juhud and jihad or mujahada. Then we try to understand three levels of jihad in general terms. First of all, every living being is always making jihad, and that is jihad for existence, struggle for existence. Because in this world you have competition everywhere. You have to compete to support yourself. So that competition is everywhere. This is jihad lil hayah, jihad lil baqa, struggle for existence. Number two, every self-respecting human being makes two jihads. The jihad to snatch his rights from the usurpers. His rights, if they have been snatched and usurped by others, his freedom, his right of self-rule or self-determination. So they have to make jihad. And there is, jihadul hurriya, the freedom struggle to get freedom, self-rule, self-determination. Actually, and this can go to even the level of qital, war of independence. So these two levels are common to all human beings. Muslims also can do it, and the non-Muslims also do it. But a Muslim, if he is making these two jihads, but he is, observing the rules of the Sharia, he is not using any forbidden means, haram means, he is only resorting to whatever is halal. Halal means, then it is a part of the ibadah, and he will be rewarded for both of these jihads also. As the Prophet said, Al-Qasibu Habibullah. And the Prophet said, Man qutila duna malihi fahuwa shahidun. So if a Muslim is making these two jihads, the jihad for existence, the jihad for hurriya, and if he lays down his life, he gets a shahada, a level of shahada. But there are levels, different levels of shahada. The highest level of shahada is when a Muslim lays down his life for the cause of making the deen of Allah supreme. That is the highest level of shahada. Then I told you, the third level is ideological jihad. Every human being has some philosophy, some ideology, consciously or unconsciously. And this ideology gives him a goal in life, an ideal, a nasb al-ayn, adrash in Hindi. So that cause that he has before him, that goal which he has before him, he strives for it. And then there is confrontation, opposing forces, there are obstacles. So he has to make jihad. So every human being makes ideological jihad also. Now what is this jihad? Here you have to use additional words to denote the cause that he has before him, the ideal that he has before him, the ideology that he is subscribing to. That you denote by the word fi sabil. Jihad fi sabil shirk, jihad fi sabil watan, jihad fi sabil qawm, jihad fi sabil ishtirakiyah, jihad fi sabil demokratiyah, jihad fi sabil shaitan, jihad fi sabil taghut. These words, fi sabil taghut, I gave you in the ayah 76 of Surah An-Nisa. This is the word used. And those parents who were compelling their sons and daughters to return to the folds of shirk and kufr, and give up the company of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were also making jihad fi sabili shirk. وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِمَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. So these things we must understand. Then this jihad is to be made with something. Bil mal, that is denoted by ba.